Enable the recording. It is. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, Anand.
Okay. So, okay. So basically, what comes in the enterprise structure? Okay. You would be having a company code, plant, storage location. Okay. This is comes under the enterprise structure. That means whenever we wanted to implement the SAP systems, we need to define this company code, plant, storage location. It is kind of hierarchy that we need to define in the enterprise structure. Okay. So in our case, the storage location is very important, okay, in the enterprise structure. So we will be beginning to create one storage location, okay, and from that storage location onward, we will be creating our warehouse structure, okay. Why we are not creating company code, company plant, okay, we are not interested, okay, that comes under entirely enterprise structure, but we are more focused on the plant and storage location. Okay, so we will create adding few storage location. Okay, and later on we will be connecting that storage location to the warehouse. Okay, so here if you look, see here. Okay, for example, we have a plant. Okay, I will say that 1710 is a plant. Below to that plant, we will create the storage location. So what is mean by storage location in terms of ECC? Okay. For example, we purchase the raw material. We store that raw material at particular area. Okay. So that we cannot mix that material. Okay. So that storage location we will be handling with 4-digit number. That could be alphanumerical digit number. So in this case, we have this 10001. This is the storage location. We call it for the raw material. Similarly, we would be having some semi-finished material or finished materials. So we will be having a different storage location. That is 1002. That we will be identifying as a semi-finished storage location. We can have a one more storage location called as IM storage location. Okay, IM means inventory managed storage location. This storage location is different from this storage location. How it is different? Okay, so when we check the stock at this storage location, okay, that stock is also available in the EWM. We can also call it as the EWM managed storage location. 1001 and 1002 is a EWM managed storage location, and 1003 is a IM managed storage location. That means the stock what we see at this IM managed storage location is not available in the extended warehouse management. Okay, we cannot see that stock in EWM. Okay, then comes where we saw the stock. Okay, we normally saw the stock in MMB transaction in ECC, whereas if you want to see the stock in EWM, we use this transaction SCWM. All the transactions started with SCWM. That those transactions are EWM's transaction. Okay, and MON is a monitor transaction where we can see the stock. Okay, so now we understand the difference between IAM storage location and non-IAM storage location. Okay. IAM storage location wherein we can see the stock in ECC only. That stock will not be available in EMON transaction. And non-IAM storage location or EWM managed storage location, that means we can see that stock available in EWM also. Okay. Is this clear?
Um,
Hmm?
yes, Anand. What is the difference between that? Why we cannot able to see it in EWM
Hmm. Correct,
for
correct,
this
correct,
one
correct.
100?
Yes, correct. To answer this one, why we are using EWM first of all, okay? Because this is the additional component, okay? And we have to perform the additional transaction there, correct? Because if you think it from the user point of view, they need to perform the lot of transaction when we use the EWM. But what the benefit we are getting out of that one? They can manage their inventory, okay, at detail level. We would be having a transparency. They can trace that particular material at which particular bin, okay, so that they quickly go there and access that material. So that is the advantage of EWM, correct? For example, you can go in a pharmaceutical shop. Okay, they have small tablets there. So they created their small boxes there. They are alphanumerically they can define it. So if they wanted to find out where is the particular tablet, they can find that it is in this particular bin. They can quickly go and bring that tablets, correct? But that gives the benefit, okay, they can find out exactly where is that stock. But in case of IAM storage location, that material is not that much costly material. We need not to trace it at that detail level, correct? We need not to find out exactly where is that material. Only this is kind of bulk material, we can say that, okay? It's not much expensive material. We need not to do a that much detail tracing of that material. Simply, we can say that this material is available in this area, in particular storage location. That is called as IAM managed storage location. That makes sense, Dinesh? Understood?
Yeah, yeah, Anand.
Correct? So that means
Yeah,
that there are certain consumables. Okay, there are certain consumables means uh, what we can say that let's take an example of the plant, okay, wherein there are certain consumables they have, okay. For example, work center is there. In work center, they require the grease to apply on a machine. That is called as consumables, okay. Then there are certain waste. They are using certain waste inside the, for example, to um, wipe off the hand, okay. They use the cloth, that is waste cloth is there, okay, that is called the bulk material. It is not very expensive. They are consuming within the plant or within the warehouse, okay. As such, it is not directly used for the production of the finished material. That is something accessories material, we can say that the cost is very less, we call it as a bulk material, okay. And that consumption is we do at the cost center level consumption, okay. It just we will book at that we have used that material so much kg or so much quantity against certain cost center is kind of we are capturing the cost at that particular center. For example, we have a different department. We have laboratory, then we have a production department, we have a some canteen inside your warehouse or plant. So those are the cost center, we call as a cost center. Whatever the things we are consuming there, we call as a posting against that particular cost center, okay. So now we understood like IAM storage location and EWM storage location. But also like the stock is available at two different transactions, as I mentioned. One is at MMBE, okay. Stock is available at MMBE transaction. This is a ECC transaction, and the stock is available at MON transaction, EWM transaction. Okay. So how it looks different actually. Okay. Let's say we have a material, hmm, uh, called as any material, XYZ material. Okay. This is a XYZ material. Hmm. For example, we'll take a computer, okay, laptop. Okay. So laptop. So when we say that we have a laptop of 100 pieces available, okay, at this particular storage location. So when we see this stock in MMB, we can see like that 100 pieces XYZ product is available at this storage location 1001. Okay. But 1001 is having multiple racks there. Okay. Now, if you want to see the same stock of XYZ material in EWM, okay, for the XYZ material, if you want to see the stock, that you can see in detail level. For example, you would be having the beans in particular rack. So we have this bean SB01 being, SB02 being, SB03 bean, and SB04 bean. So in this, we will see that 25 pieces is available here, 25 pieces is available in other bins like that. So we can have a detailed view in EWM. Whereas in ACC, we have a simple view. Consolidated data we can see in ACC. But whereas if you want to see the stock in EWM, we will be having a detailed stock. Okay, is this clear? Okay, so that we will understand like uh, EWM, how we store the material. And as we are using the EWM, we need to receive the material in the bin and we have to issue the material from the bin. Okay. So what will happen when we perform the transaction EWM in backend, the stock will be reduced from the ECC also. Okay. When we perform the transaction, that will be more and more clear. Okay. But at this point, what we have to understand, like we have ECC way structure, enterprise structure. For example, plant and the location. And we also need to define the warehouse structure. Warehouse structure is in terms of what is the warehouse, name of the warehouse, that is alphanumerical 4-digit number. Then we have a storage type, storage section, and storage bin. Okay, storage type means we have different types of material. Okay, some materials we can store in general atmosphere. Okay, that material store in general atmosphere 0010. We'll take another storage type for the example. For example, cold storage. Some material that we need to store into the cold storage area. Okay, for example, food industry, we have a general storage, we have a ambient storage, we have a cold storage, or we can take the example of vaccines where we need to store that vaccines in -5 degrees Celsius, or -10 or -15. So as per this particular requirement, we have a different storage types. So that we need to define in our system that these are the storage type. Then storage section is that, okay, that we used to define that storage type into section. Okay. For example, fast moving atom or slow moving atom. So for the accessible point of view, we can define that the section, the storage type we can define to section. Okay, logical subdivision of that storage type. Okay, that is called the storage section. Below comes the storage bins, okay, where we actually store the material. Okay, so this is the structure of warehouse. Okay, so what comes in a warehouse structure? We need to define the warehouse. Within the warehouse, we will be having the storage types, and below to storage type, we need to define the storage section and storage bins. Okay, so this is the structure of the warehouse.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yeah, please.
Satyam this side, sir. Actually, MMB is the T code in the ECC,
Yes, correct.
and about EWM, it is /SCWM/monitor.
MON, yes, correct. In
So, does MMBE will work in EWM or not?
that good question. So it depends on the deployment option. Okay. We saw yesterday, like we have two deployment option, embedded and decentralized. So now anybody can answer this question where we can access the MMB in case of embedded, where we can access, in case of decentralized, where we should access. Yeah, Dinesh, please.
In embedded ECC plus HANA, we can able to.
So in case of embedded, where we can access the MMB transaction? Yeah, you can try it, Dinesh. You are correct. So MMB transaction, we are accessing in
ECC.
ECC, correct? In ECC, but ECC or S/4HANA, we can say that, because now onward, like we have a S/4HANA, correct? So companies are migrating on the S/4HANA. We'll call it S/4HANA. So here in this case, when we have the embedded system, that means that we would be having the functionality of which functionality, like general functionality, procurement, okay, ECC functionality. So ECC functionality and EWM functionality, both functionality is available in the same system. Okay, so in that case, we need to access both the transaction, MMB and MON transaction in the same system, because all the transaction is available there. But if we have a deployment in embedded system, okay, in embedded, sorry, decentralized system, so in that case, you will be able to see the stock in MON transaction, okay, in the decentralized system. There will be two systems. In one system, you will be able to access the MON transaction, and other system, you will be access the MMB transaction. Okay, so in two different systems, you need to access this one. Okay, so make it more clear here again. Embedded system. This will be a S/4HANA only. So in embedded system, you would be having all the functionalities, okay, ECC functionalities, plus EWM functionalities. Okay, this will be in a one server. Okay, you will be having all these functionality in one server. This functionality and this functionality comes under one server. But in case of decentralized, also that means that you will be having a access of MMB and MON transaction in same system, one server on same system, one server or system, I can call it system. Okay, then in case of decentralized system, what happen? You would be having a two system, 1+1 server, correct? And here in that, in one server, we will be having a ECC functionality, and another server, we will be having a EWM functionality, correct? So the first server, let's say this server is for ECC server. We call it ECC server first. ECC server. You will be accessing MMB here. And other server will be a EWM server. Here you will be accessing MON transaction. Okay, is this clear? Any confusion, any doubt? Hello?
Clear.
Yeah.
Clear, tha?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there is one more question. Basically, what happened, like you would be having this ECC server, it's a S/4HANA. Okay. And you would be having EWM server is also S/4HANA. Correct. Then what will be the difference? Only the server will be, two different server will be there. But it will be again that all the functionalities of the S/4HANA will be available in both the systems. Okay. It will be available. I mean, if you want to access the transaction MMB in both the system, it will be accessible, but data will not be there. That is the difference only. Okay.
Oh, okay. Uh, we can able to use that, but the data will not be available in the EWM. If we have using the
Exactly.
MMB means it will not be available in ECC server, second server.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. Because
Okay.
we are making that configuration very specific as per the server. Correct. So because of that, we will not able to see that one. Okay. So we have to define this structure first, enterprise structure, warehouse structure, and after that we need to do the mapping. Okay, we need to do the mapping of ECC warehouse to EWM warehouse. What is meant by ECC warehouse? Okay, ECC warehouse means we will be having a 3-digit warehouse. We will be defining in enterprise structure. So that means warehouse we are defining two times. One is comes under the enterprise structure, that is 3-digit warehouse. And in EWM that will be a 4-digit warehouse. Okay. Why this is kind of structure? Because SAP has delivered first WM, then EWM. Okay. This warehouse we can call as a LEWM warehouse. Okay. And this is the EWM warehouse. Just, I mean, this is the structure we have to define like this. Okay. So what we will do, I will show this one, how it is, so that it will be more clear. So we will go in. So at least we will try to create a storage location and ECC warehouse first. Okay. So how to create? We have to go in SPRO. In SPRO, SAP reference IMG. In enterprise structure, we will be defining the storage location. Where it comes the storage location? It comes under material management. Maintain storage location. So first thing system will ask that what is the plant where you want to create the storage location. So we will be defining here. So we are going to create few storage location. Okay, for example, like EB01, EB02, EB03. These are the storage location as created. So we will be creating for our case also. Okay, so what name we can give? We can give the name like 4, 5, and 6. Okay, I'm giving this name. Okay, so here what we are defining, EB04 storage location is a raw material storage location. I am going to store all the raw materials here. EB05 wherein I am storing semi-finish and finished material. And EB06 is IM storage location. Okay, so that storage location has nothing to do with the EWM storage location. EB06 is, it's not a EWM storage location. Okay. So these are the storage location that I have defined. So when we save, system asks us to create the transport request. Because why we require a transport request? Because we are capturing the changes against this transport request so that we can move these changes from one system to another system. New enterprise structure. Yeah, we have to give the name. Correct. So whenever each time when I'm doing the changes or creating the new items, the system will create the transport request. So whatever the changes we have done or added new items, that is entered into that transport request that we can move from one system to another system. Okay, so we have created. Okay, so we have 10 minutes left. Okay, once we disconnect it, please reconnect it. We have created the storage location. Now we have to create the warehouse. I have mentioned that we need to create a 2 times warehouse. So this is the EC enterprise structure warehouse. So I'm going to define that. So we are going to create like this. My warehouse would be EB2 and we'll be creating EWM warehouse will be EB12. Okay, just I'm giving the description in the way that I will be knowing like for ECC warehouse, what is my EWM warehouse? Just I have given this description so that we can correlate this one. But the actual assignment we will be doing in the other transaction. Okay. So this is ECC warehouse we are going to create. This is the EB2, is the ECC warehouse. Okay. So now once we have created this warehouse, EB2, we have to do the assignment now. What assignment we have to do? Who's this? We need to do the assignment. This is a definition. Assignment, we need to do in the assignment tab. Here we need to define like assignment of the warehouse number to plant and storage location. We know what is our plant, we know what is our storage location, and we have created the warehouse also. Now we have to connect all this together, okay, so that okay, we have to do the connection like this. Okay, so we have created uh 1 second, EB2 warehouse, correct? So we will be doing this mapping now. Okay, so here I can copy like this. Okay, there are 2 ways to add the entries. You can add the new entries like this, either 1710. What is the storage location we have created? EB04 we have created, and this one has warehouse is EB2. So we have done this like this, correct? So we now got to know like this storage location, EB04 storage location is the EWM storage location. Okay. And similarly, we are adding the 1710 EB05, that is the semi-finished storage location, again assigned to your warehouse, EB2 warehouse. And I am not assigning the storage location EB06 here because that is not a EWM manage. We need to keep as it is. Okay, we need not to do anything. Okay, so if somebody asks like how you define your storage location is EWM manage or IM manage. You can answer that. If the storage location is EWM manage, that means we should assign it to the particular warehouse. In this case, we have assigned to this warehouse. Okay. I will pause here. Any question? Is it clear or confusing? Please let me know.
Yes, Anand. Like you have mentioned that IM storage location is not yet defined here. Due to it is no need, it is not necessary to add here. Due to that is a EWM related one, correct? So
That is
yeah,
correct.
so only
So
we are not added here.
correct.
For unfortunately we have added it, and what is the next step?
You you can create you can try to remove it from here if it
Right.
is allowing
Okay.
it. If there is no stock is there, if the stock is not there, stock is zero. So in that case, what you can do? You can remove it from
Yeah, we
here.
can repeat.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now the next step. Next step is we need to define the warehouse structure. Okay. That comes under here. Okay. So in this, we are going to define the master data. Okay. In this master data, we are going to create the warehouse number first. So here, our warehouse is, we are going to create like this warehouse. Okay. I can copy this one or create a new address. It is up to us how we want to do. Our warehouse number is EB12, correct? We have created EB12. EB12 is assigned to the EB2 ECC warehouse. Okay. Just for our understanding, I am giving this name so that you will also understand. So EB12 is our warehouse. It is equal to EB2 ECC warehouse. Okay. So I have created EB2 warehouse. What is next? We need to assign the warehouse number. What assignment we need to do here in the warehouse number? Okay. Here we need to assign the supply chain unit. Okay. And default party to entitle. Supply chain unit means what? Okay. Basically, we are going to define as a master data. Supply chain unit is a master data. Okay. Wherein we will be defined that our warehouse is a distribution center. Okay. Or it is the warehouse. So that all will be, for example, if you have a warehouse, you will be having a receiving office, you will be having a shipping office. Okay. So that we will be defined in supply chain unit. So first we need to create a supply chain unit. Okay. So we'll go here. That comes under logistic in supply chain extended warehouse management. And if you go here in master data, this comes the supply chain unit. Okay. So we are going to create a supply chain unit. So it will be like this. SCU, I'm giving the name EB12. So I'm creating for this warehouse. So the supply chain unit is of the type. So You can have warehouse, customer, vendor. So this is a supply chain unit. So our supply chain unit is a warehouse supply chain unit. Okay. So we are going to use this one specifically. And when I say create, okay, I will do the name like this. And here we need to define some important parameters. These are the important parameters, business attributes for this supply chain unit. So I will be saying that business attribute is a shipping office. That means we are shipping the material. This is important. We need to define this one. Otherwise, we'll get error. We are receiving office. That means we are receiving the material because it's a warehouse. What else we can do? Then we have the warehouse, means we would be having a INV also, means inventory also we will be holding. Okay, so these are the basic business attributes I have assigned. Okay.